If you've been injured, you're probably wondering, how long is it going to take to reach a settlement in your claim or case? I'm going to explain to you why I think this is the wrong question to be asking, and you need to not focus on how long it's going to take. I'm going to give you all the components that go into what could take a long time versus a short time to reach a conclusion, settlement, or a verdict in your case. And at the end, so keep watching, I'm going to tell you the only time you should really be worried about how much longer is this going to take. That way you can rest assured you know your case is being handled correctly and the timing is not an issue. So let's get into it. The reason I think this is the wrong thing to be thinking about is I tell my clients at the very beginning what to expect. And the whole point of this exercise, if you will, is to get maximum compensation for your damages. Nothing more, nothing less than what you deserve for what you have gone through. So, how do you know when this is supposed to settle, when it's not? Is it taking too long? What am I to expect at the beginning so I kind of know? Are we talking 6 months? Are we talking 6 weeks? Are we talking 6 years? Well, let me give you those components, and then again, I'm going to tell you why I don't stress on it long term. So one of the biggest factors, especially if you're in a car wreck case, is what is the available insurance? If there is not enough insurance, so in Georgia where I practice, the minimum coverage is $25,000. So if you're dealing with the only insurance that's available is $25,000, that's probably going to be a quicker case because you're more likely to reach a value in your case of $25,000 pretty quickly. So that might settle in the middle of you treating because there's just not enough insurance coverage. The hope is you don't have that. I always tell people you want to hope that you have the most insurance coverage possible from all different sources. It's one of the best reasons to hire an attorney is to make sure you have every single insurance policy applying to your personal injury case. You want what I call it the ball field that you're playing in, because it's all about insurance, to be as large as possible. You're hoping there's more money than you need. Now, if that ends up being the case, it may take longer for your case to settle. Now, here are the components beyond insurance that focus on how long your case is going to take. One of the biggest factors other than that insurance policy is how long are you treating? The best way to handle a case most of the time is to wait until you're done with treatment. So you're capturing all of your damages for your medical expenses, lost wages, if you're out of work during that treatment, and then of course, pain and suffering. Now, those numbers are big numbers for the adjusters. They love just focusing on the empirical numbers. What are your medical costs? That sort of thing. So you're kind of helping the adjuster by making sure you're giving them all of that. Don't try to settle in the middle of your treatment if there's plenty of insurance coverage, because you're going to sell yourself short. Why? Insurance will not pay if you have not already had that treatment. You can give them the estimate. I've done this so many times, and it took a while to get used to it because it doesn't make sense. You can tell them down to the penny how much your future treatment's going to cost and then that you're going to have in the next couple of weeks or months. But what ends up happening is the insurance company says, yeah, but we don't know if they're really going to have that treatment, so we can't consider that. So the better way to do it again is to wait until all your treatment is done, and then you can present all of those medical bills, all of those medical records, and there's no issue of, hey, I'm missing things. I can't give you an offer because I don't have this treatment. I don't have that treatment. You got it all locked up. So that's the next biggest component. Then, of course, the other thing that factors in is naturally this is it takes two to tango concept, right? You can want to settle every day of the week, but the other side doesn't want to. And there's often strategy reasons for it. I tell people, part of why I tell them at the beginning, you need to be in this for the long term if you want to do it right, is because sometimes the insurance companies will just give lowball offers even with an attorney because they're playing the odds. What's the odds that Sally Smith is going to actually have her attorney file a lawsuit? Well, let's test her. Let's see. So if you're hot to trot to settle the case, you're going to be potentially settling cheap because sometimes those pre-suit offers are not high enough for the real value of your case. The opinion from the lawyer like myself might be, hey, this final offer is not appropriate. We need to file a lawsuit. That would be in your best interest. You get to make that decision ultimately, but that factors into how long this takes. Why? Because if you file a lawsuit, now you're guaranteed, most likely, it's going to take at least 6 months, more likely a year or more in litigation before the other side is willing to sit and talk. What is the value of the case and can we get this resolved? So again, it kind of depends on, once you've done everything else the right way, you're done with treatment, everything's locked in, we got all medical records and bills, is the insurance company ultimately going to give you a fair value for your case? If so, it will settle. If not, and you and your attorney agree, hey, I'm better off putting this into a lawsuit to show them I'm serious, it's going to take a lot longer. And the reason for that in litigation, by the way, is, for instance, in Georgia, you have an automatic 6-month discovery period where you take depositions, you find witnesses, you do written questions back and forth between the parties, all of those things to start building the evidence, the actual evidence in the case. And oftentimes, because of schedules, discovery is extended. It takes longer than 6 months, believe it or not, to get discovery done. So once you're in suit, you're 6 months minimum, more likely a year plus. Again, every case is different. Again, also depends on what kind of insurance coverage is out there versus what your medical costs are, and there you are. So at the end of the day, biggest factor, insurance coverage. If your bills are approaching the total amount of insurance, that's going to settle quickly. If it's not, and we're arguing a lot over pain and suffering, that's where things may take longer. But again, please, you don't want to worry about how long it's going to take, because the longer it takes, really, it means you're doing it the right way. You need to be in this for the long haul in order to get the justice that you deserve and get through all of the arguments that are going to be put in front of you. Now, here's the nugget I told you at the beginning I would give you. There is one time that you should be concerned about how long is it going to take. And this is when you have an attorney. So in my opinion, if you have all treatment done, the medical records are in, the bills are in, and you're not hearing anything from your attorney, well, now there's an issue, right? You never want your side to be a reason for delay. The other side may do that as a strategy. Delay, 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 delay. Force you into a lawsuit, do these things. You can't control that. But you can control what you do, meaning your attorney and yourself. You need to be on your attorney. Hey, what's going on? Everything's in. Have we done a demand? Have we heard back from the insurance company? What is taking so long? So this is the one time you would want to be concerned. But again, that's way into the claim that you're pursuing. You'll start to get an idea of, hey, is my attorney causing some of the delay here? I need to start to get on him or her. Why are we not moving this a little bit faster? So that's the one time. Be careful there. Also, it's a two-way street, right? You don't want to be delaying getting answers to your attorney, things like that, if they need something to help them make a demand to the insurance company. Your side should never be part of the reason for a delay. If you're following all of that, let your lawyer handle the case. If you trust your lawyer, which you should, they should be pushing as the facts and the evidence are established, and give them the ability to do that within reason. You should be fine. If it takes a year, it's not fun, but listen, that's the way you know you are getting the max compensation for your injuries. You may have to go through the gauntlet to actually get fair value for your case. It's just the way it is. Because think of how many people out there, either without attorneys or with attorneys who are, quite frankly, just not doing a good job, are taking lowball settlement offers to be done quickly. I want my check. I want it done fast. You see all these commercials out there. No, insurance companies love that mindset because they know they can get out of it cheaply. They're wanting to get this done massively fast. That comes with a price. So don't fall victim to that. I hope this helped answer the question. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate it.